Hey, Philip, can you kind of just take us through the day offensively? Just some highs, some lows, but also just staying with it, and the defense kind of getting you guys to the finish line.
Yeah, yeah. It was well, first off, it was just a great team win. Obviously, our defense was unbelievable. They won the day and carried the day for sure. And then offensively, I thought it was one of those games where we did what we had to do to win a game like this. Certainly, some things to clean up. A couple missed throws I wish I had back. And then credit to their D too. I mean, that was a good front and good secondary over there. So, and then there was a couple things here and there. Obviously, we punted more today, I think, than we punted all year in the first 3 games. But we didn't turn it over. We finished the game with a big drive, at the end to get 3. Those are big time drives. Those are the ones you look back and go, man, can we get that done? Those are drives you're going to have to get done to get to where we want to go. So it was just an overall good team win. I kind of felt like it was going to be a little bit of a grinder coming into this week. I didn't think it was going to be, just smooth sailing. Obviously, we scored that first drive, but there's a lot to clean up. But I think that's okay. I think good teams, you can leave a game where you won, and the defense again was unbelievable, and win and still have a lot to clean up. But we didn't do the dumb things. We didn't turn the ball over 3 times. We didn't do a lot of those things. So I think that's key. So a lot to build on, but certainly some things we need to do better.
Mike Chappell?
Yeah, Philip, you sort of mentioned it, but as much as you like to do things on offense and do your job in points and all that, how much enjoyment do you have on the sideline watching this when a defense plays like this?
Yeah, I love it. Shoot, it's awesome. I think our sideline loved it the whole time. That was one thing I thought, that I thought that we brought a lot more energy than they did. I just felt that from our sideline. I mean, it was weird. Now it was different. We did the mock game in an empty stadium, obviously in training camp, but that you always go to a stadium in training camp that's not anybody there. So although that was a good simulation for us, it was a little different. Try it out at Soldier Field and not be a soul in the stands. So, but I felt like our energy level was awesome. And I think the way our D was playing, and then it kind of, you could feel the energy coming off the sideline as well, and vice versa. So, no, it's awesome. There's certainly D's playing unbelievable. And so I think, too, that lends to a little bit of, maybe when we get in that fourth quarter of, we're not just going to go start saying, hey, let's throw it 5 times in a row. There was no reason to do that with the way the game was going. We just, again, we did enough and did what we had to do to win. Certainly, again, some things cleaning up.
George Bremer?
Sort of sticking with that energy theme, it looked like you maybe exchanged pleasantries a little bit out there with Roquan Smith at times. Did that add a little juice to the game today?
Yeah, no, it was it's fun. It's fun competing. I love to compete. So there was some interaction, with Roquan. He's a heck of a player. He was in on a bunch of plays. Him and Trevathan, those 2 guys are good linebackers. Obviously, they have a heck of a front, and that secondary is pretty salty as well. So yeah, there was some good back and forth. They kind of kept it, made it feel a little bit more like a backyard pickup game. It just happens to be at the highest level in a 4:00 national time slot, but it felt that way. It felt like you got your buddies and said we're going to play someone across town, and we just so happened we got to play at Soldier Field today. So it was pretty cool.
Jim Aiello?
Yeah, Philip, you mentioned some things that you wanted to clean up offensively. I just want to talk about the run game. Are there things that you saw that could improve based on what you looked at today?
Yeah, definitely. And again, I a lot of things you see on tape. I do have a pretty good view of it. Well, for one, again, I thought our guys blocked their tails off. Again, against that front, both in the run and in the pass rush, I thought they did a heck of a job. And it was that kind of grinded out game. I'm sitting here looking. I mean, certainly we'd love to have a 150-yard rushing day or whatever it was. I'm looking at it. Net yards is 103. But I think anytime you run it 38 times, and again, it wasn't the best yards per carry, but if you get 38 rushes, you win the time possession, you don't turn it over, and your defense plays like that, you got a good chance. You got a good chance to win. And again, there's certain things. I missed T.Y. on that over route that probably would have maybe blown it open a little earlier the game. Missed him on a comeback as well on 3rd down. Those are 2 third-down throws I certainly want back. A couple times in the red zone, we kicked field goals, but it was that kind of game. And I think the cool thing about this team, as I'm learning and finding out, as we're finding out together, is that I think we can win in a lot of different ways. And I think that will be key for us moving forward. If we need 35, I think we have a group that can go get 35. If we have a game like today, we can grind one out and win it this way in kind of an old school NFL game style.
All right, we'll go a couple more. Zach Kiefer.
Phil, you went against this defense every day in camp. You go against them every day in practice. We watch this group, and we know what they do well, but I'm curious for your perspective. Why is this defense playing this well right now? What do they do so well every week that makes the quarterback's job really tough?
Well, they do a heck of a job of pre-snap disguising and moving around, never letting you kind of settle in and get comfortable. But I think they just played well, good team defense together. They're really assignment sound. And the biggest thing that stood out to me in training camp was how fast everybody is running to the football. I mean, if you see some of those guys cut back and it's like, oh, one got missed. Oh, look, there might be something. There's another, and there's another, and there's another. I mean, the guys are relentless getting to the football. And I do think, during the week, I mean, I'm just looking at, even these first 4 weeks of practice, I do think too, Jacoby's been unbelievable with running that look squad and the throws he's making and the challenge and the competitiveness of the practice, offensively, defensively, both sides. But it's unbelievable. You would think it was training camp. If y'all could stay and watch the whole time, you would think it was training camp with the way, Jacoby's running that look squad against our defense. And I think that helps as well. Our defense is doing an unbelievable job. I do think that somewhere along that list of things that are factors, I do think that's one. And they've been unbelievable here first quarter of the season.
All right, last one, Phil B.
Hey, Phil. Last week when you talked to us, you mentioned that you already knew what the Bears had done. I'm wondering if you knew what the Browns did today, and do you always kind of give yourself a peek ahead?
Oh, yeah. Every time where they have the late game, I'm obviously getting a good feel for what happened in the early games. They scored 49 points. I saw that in Dallas, and Dallas had about 25,000 there. So Cleveland's off to, I don't know the exact how many years, but best start in probably over 20-something years. So they got it going pretty good right now. They're scoring a lot of points. Have to zero in on that defense. Obviously, a new staff there as well. We played Cleveland last year, but since then that was Greg Williams' defense. I think Joe Woods is there now, so it'll be a different defense. But be a heck of a challenge at Cleveland. Two 3-1 teams here before we come home for one before the bye. So just keep that 1-0 mentality. Enjoy this one. I think our team, it's good. It's a good the locker room is excited about the win. It's a little different here. We're split into two different locker rooms, the defensive locker room and the offensive locker room, due to the amount of numbers we can have. So a little different feel. But I think what this locker room does is they expect to win. We expect to win. And that doesn't, not in an arrogant way, but I think we expect to win. So I think it's a good deal. The guys are focused. Guys are excited about a win. You only get 16, so they're hard. They're hard to come by. You never take them for granted, but we'll enjoy it for about 24 hours and then zero in on Cleveland.